building on public trust and getting public buy-in was part of the topics at this year's annual Tax Indaba that took place in Kempton Park. And to talk us through that is the Deputy Finance Minister, Ashor Sarupen. Thank you so much for talking to us. Now, you were on the panel really tackling some of those domestic issues. One of those is whether South Africans really view the current tax regime as fair. As the National Treasury, talk us through some of the challenges that you find there that really erodes that public trust.
As I say, I think the biggest issue is the state of municipal services, because that's where state failure is most visible. If your refuse isn't collected even though you're paying a bill, your streets have potholes, your streetlights aren't working and crime goes up, of course you're going to feel the tax system is unfair, and rightly so, because local taxes where you pay for those services, and you would feel more broadly that the tax system isn't delivering to you. If you're a very poor person and you're queuing to access healthcare and so on, and the healthcare workers, many have left the system and we're now trying to plug those gaps, you would feel that the system isn't fair either.
And that sort of played out really with this year's budget, seeing all the way to budget 3.0. And you did say we're trying to avoid that trauma in the midterm budget policy statements. The involvement, we are in National Dialogue Week, so it's really about getting citizens active in all these issues as well. As we work towards that, the importance of South Africans being involved with how the budget is crafted. How can the average, my grandmother in the village, feel that they are part of that process when it comes to both understanding the National Treasury's role as well as the revenue service in terms of collecting that revenue?
Yeah, I think that the important thing is that we do create lots of public participation systems in South Africa. So we put out discussion documents, we put out through Parliament, of course, when we table the documents to Parliament, the budgets to Parliament, there's public participation processes there. And I think that where the gap exists is helping people understand how they can take advantage.
Yeah, and we do have then over the weekend just hearing that confirmation that SARS Commissioner Edward Kieswetter will be stepping down at the end of April. An important relationship between National Treasury and the Revenue Service. What sort of conversations are you having as we build up to him stepping down to ensure that we have that continuation of SARS being able to meet its mandates? We did hear earlier on them introducing Vision 2030 to keep on that momentum. What sort of conversations are you having with the Revenue Service?
I think the first thing to understand is when in the aftermath of the state capture, SARS started being rebuilding, the two commissioners that came since, and particularly Commissioner Kieswetter, was critical to rebuilding an institution. And ultimately that's the key thing, is the institution. And institutions, when you put a good commissioner in, like we did with Commissioner Kieswetter, he went to work rebuilding the capacity and the institution of SARS, which means that there is a talented team underneath the commissioner, and you heard some of them this morning here at the Indaba, who can take the work and the vision that he's laid out forward, as well as deliver to the state the resources that we need to deliver to our citizens. And so I think the conversation really is, firstly, that is the institution rebuilt? And I think the answer is yes. And I think that SARS is still and remains and is a very important world-class institution. But beyond that then is, of course, do we have people in the talent pool who can do the job? And I think that certainly when I look around in my interaction with SARS, there's a very big talent pool there that we can draw from. And I think we're very grateful to Commissioner Kieswetter for the work he's done to build the talent pool as well.
Thank you so much, Deputy Minister, for talking to us. Of course, that is the Deputy Minister of Finance, Ashor Sarupen, just talking us through then preparation for the midterm budget policy statements, as well as ensuring that the tax system continues to really deliver on the services required by the public and rebuild on that public trust. For Newzroom Africa on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Kempton Park, Johannesburg.